Hey everybody, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 5 of award season reviews, season 3, 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering all of the films contending for award recognition in early 2025. For these reviews, all information provided as far as numbers go is current within 7 days of the recording. I'll be giving you the critical response, the box office information, insight into its awards run so far, my predictions on nominations and wins based on wherever we are in the year. And as always, these reviews will be spoiler free. Also, please, before we start, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, click the like, join the conversation. Lots of great stuff to come. You can head over to my website, cinephilemike.com, for a lot of great additional content, as well as the important, beloved, and informative Where Can I Watch This 2024 edition spreadsheet, where you can track nominations, wins, and viewing opportunities for every film that I talk about this season and more. We're moving right along through top box office flicks week. While we don't have any major nods yet, these are the films that I believe at a minimum will be most likely announced as nominees for the Golden Globe Awards in the cinematic and box office achievement category. These are the films that get recognized for making $150 million in their box office, or at least 100 million has to be made in the domestic box office, 50 million coming from the international box office. There are currently 18 films bucking for those 8 slots. There were 8 last year, and today's is another one. Given the week, I know that everything I've done so far this season has been sequel, but clearly those are what are selling at the box office. Today, I am discussing 20th Century Studios' Alien Romulus, the seventh film in the Alien franchise, written by the team of Royo Sayaguez and the film's director Fede Alvarez. This film fared better at the box office than the last film, Alien Covenant, with Romulus making $105,313,091 at the domestic box office and an additional $245,552,251 at the international box office, sitting with a current worldwide take of $350,865,342. As per Rotten Tomatoes, the film was well received with a critical score of 80% based on 384 reviews and a popcorn meter score of 85% based on over 5,000 audience reviews. To date, Alien Romulus shares an award with the last 2 films I discussed. It was one of the 5 films to win the Golden Angel Award from the Chinese American Film Festival for Most Popular U.S. Film in China, and co-writer director Alvarez won the Vanguard Award for Latino Cinema and Television from the Critics' Choice Awards celebration of cinema and television. What other awards love could it see? Well, I'll get there. Set between the first and second films in the saga, Romulus introduces us to our new Ridley, Rain, played by Kaylee Spaney, and her brother, the synthetic human Andy, played by David Johnson. Living in the colony of Jackson's star, Rain's one goal is to return to the planet Ivaga 3, an Earth variant, so that she can start anew. However, this becomes a bit problematic as her visa has been denied and her work contract extended for another 12 years. However, there is a plot a brewing. Rain's ex, Tyler, played by Archie Renault, has learned of a decommissioned spacecraft with the cryostasis technology that they would need in order to make that trip to Vaga 3 and escape from Jackson's colony. So Rain and Andy agree to go, as we will see one of them actually serves a greater purpose on this mission. With Tyler and the rest of our new crew of potential xenomorph victims, we have Tyler's pregnant sister Kay, played by an underused Isabel Merced, their cousin Bjorn, played by Spike Fearn, and his girlfriend Navarro, played by Eileen Wu. As they journey to said spacecraft, once on board, they see that this ship was maybe not quite so decommissioned as they thought, and they meet another certain individual from the first Alien film. And cue the nostalgia. And before you know it, they will be on a mission to find the cryostasis materials they need and get off the ship, and they will have to fight a xenomorph and all of its offspring as they try to escape the Romulus. And as alliances change and the stakes are raised, will everyone make it back safely? Hmm. Here's the thing. Director Fede Alvarez has made a name for himself in horror film culture with such visual fright fests as the Evil Dead remake, Don't Breathe, and he does the same here with the visuals and what he crafts in a story for Alien Romulus. The film has some incredible imagery and the blood and the gross out moments and the gore that one wants from films such as this. Look, it's all here. He embeds some nice jump scares for the horror fans within quiet moments even if some of them are a little bit predictable to the true aficionados of the franchise. There's even just the right amount, all right, maybe a little too much fan service in this film to get to the diehard Alien fans. However, this is a film that can be watched separate from the others. So if this is going to be your first entry into the franchise, you're going to be fine. However, even though it's a standalone film in that respect, it kind of trips over itself a little bit. It's not as convoluted in terms of plot like the previous entries, Prometheus and Covenant, the prequels, where it was a little more formulaic and relied more on circumstance than like character development. And I won't spoil how, but for me, this film has too many endings. It's like the film that never ends and it goes on and on, my friend. I mean, there are a couple of great fight sequences, but then after one, that's a great nod to the first film. It's like we can move on, but well, no, you want more fights, so we're going to give you more fights. And so, which ending is the real one before we get another? I mean, that's not to say that the film is unwatchable. It totally is. Spaney is actually a very worthy enough successor to Sigourney Weaver, and her performance is able to toggle nicely between the angst needed for the action sequences, but she plays up the somewhat emotional arcs that Alvarez and Sayagüez have given to her. And as she proved in last year's Priscilla, she's a very character driven actress with a lot of nice moments. Unfortunately, there's so much time spent on getting to the next xenomorph sighting fight or blood explosion that the rest of the cast kind of seems to be a little forgettable and sidelined. Like I said, Merced and some of the others, which is unfortunate because these actors do a good job, but they're given so little to do. That aside, from the story and the acting, visually though, this film is stunning. Shane Mahan and the team, really while they do implement, of course, some CGI, they also rely a lot on practical visual effects, which is nice to see. We don't always get those. They truly pay homage to the first film and where it all began, so some of that is really fun to see. Fans of the franchise will delight in the fan service, and again, for the uninitiated, there's enough here. There are some good screams, there are some good horror delights. You won't be disappointed. Um, but if you're looking for like a deep, thought-provoking science fiction film, you're not going to get it here. I think that's what Prometheus and Covenant tried to do and couldn't quite stick that landing. As for award season contention, as previous entries in the franchise have, not all of them, but some, it's possible that we could see this film get nominated for sound and visual effects. It will probably definitely campaign for those too. I don't think the technical work is strong enough for the other categories given the films that have been released this season, but you never know. The Alien franchise does have award season love for some of its previous entries, so we'd have to see. But given the love of the franchise, I do believe that it could be a front runner for that box office achievement award at the Golden Globes. Time will tell. I mean, that's why it's here. Alien Romulus for me, sadly, it's just a three-star film. I enjoyed it more than the previous Alien films, but it is what it is. I'm sure there will be more to come. These franchises don't go away. However, if they smartly keep it in Alvarez's hands, and Ridley Scott even said publicly that he thought that Romulus was great, Alvarez can maybe do some great things with the franchise if he's willing to experiment and step out of the comfort zone. If you would like to catch Alien Romulus, if you haven't seen it yet, or you're looking for that rewatch, as of this recording and posting, it is currently streaming on Hulu and Disney Plus. So those are my thoughts. That's five down with 92 to go. As always, if you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. There's lots of great additional content and information on my website, cinephilemike.com. Check that out. Until next time, everyone, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.